What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm out here today at the Rockley Disc Golf Course getting prepared for the first tournament in the Queensland Disc Golf Tour, the Yeronga Memorial. I'm really excited to finally get back into the competitive swing of things. It's been what feels like a really long off season. Really excited to finally be getting back into competing. So today what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to take you through my bag, a few minor updates and changes to what's in my bag, at least to kick off the 2024 season. And then I'm going to do a bit of a course preview, share some of my thoughts on the course changes, some things to look out for if you're playing this event, and also just my general perspective and take going into the first tournament. So hope you enjoy. Let's get to it. So let's go through some of the things in the bag first. I'm still rocking the Prodigy bag, chunky monkey. But I will hopefully have an Atlas bag sometime during the season. I'll swap out to that, a little bit lighter, a little bit more compact. And if you would like to get an Atlas bag as well, you can do so via the link in the description. Message me as well if you want to get in on a joint order to save on shipping. But Atlas bags, I've heard, are very good, and you can support me if you use the link down below. So anyway, let's go through. So throwing putters, very similar. We'll go from understable to most stable. So instead of the Tui, I've just got a beat in, super beat in actually, Brody Roach. That's just going to be super flippy throwing putter. Probably won't come out too much, maybe just if I need some sort of a funny scramble shot. But yeah, I say super flippy, crazy flippy. Now we've got a new Big Z Lunar in the bag. So if you haven't checked out my previous in the bag video that I did at the end of 2023, check that out and you kind of see some of the differences. But that one's getting a little bit old, so I've got a newer one in. It's slightly more straight, slightly more stable. Nice straight fly with a little bit of a finish. And then we've got the Envy as the overstable version, which may get kicked out if the Kratos, once those come in. I'm very keen to try those out. That may then kick out the Envy out of that slot. But also, I jumped over putting putters at the start, but we've got, these are the ones that are currently in the bag from last season. I don't have my new ones with me, but I will have some matching ones, some new matching Brody OG Dark Horse Roaches for the 2024 season. So that will be awesome to break those in on Sunday. Now for zones, I've got some different ones in the bag. So we've got 3. I did have a 4 previously, but we've got 3. We've got the Valerie Mandujano Jawbreaker zone. So that's kind of the straightest one. And that will beat in to be the sort of the more flippier one, more understable. Then we've got one that's been in the bag for a while, the Glow Brody Smith Dark Horse Get Freaky zone. That's kind of the in-between stability. And then we've actually got the, hopefully I'm able to use this actually, I'm not sure. You guys let me know in the comments if I can actually throw the Ringer zone, considering I'm not sure if it's been PDGA approved. So that's my overstable version of the zone at the moment, because it's a bit more stable than the other 2, but hopefully I'm allowed to use that. You guys let me know down below. Mids, basically saying the exact same. We've got the Get Flippy Meteor as the unstable version. That's no different. Now, I don't currently have the buzz that I'm going to throw in, but this Gazellus Ulibarris buzz is getting a bit too flippy and a bit too similar to that Meteor that I just showed. And so I'm going to swap it out for a really cool foundation buzz. It's just going to be a bit straighter, have a little bit of a finish, kind of like the Lunar, but step up into the mids. And then good old Quake, loving the Quake still for backhands and forehands. That's the overstable version. So mids, pretty much the same, very familiar. The kind of fairway area, I'm still not sure. And honestly, we're going to try out a few things at the start of the season. So for the understable fairway, I've got the Mantis. Actually, this flies really nice. And then we've actually got an Athena in the bag, a prototype Athena, 7-speed. This flies so far though, and it just goes straight and then finishes, just absolutely bombs. So that's kind of my Undertaker replacement. A little bit slower, but still goes really far and has a bit more stability than what my Undertakers did. And I really like it. So we're going to try that out. We got 2 of the Captain's Raptors. We're going to keep the OG one in the bag. This is the more stable one for me at the moment. And we're going to actually chuck in this sweet new, the Captain's Raptor from this year. This disc is amazing. I think there's still some of these available at discgolfwarehouse.com.au. The link will be down below. You can use my discount code and get 5% off, but get them while you can because these are absolutely sweet. Fly a little bit straighter than the one I just showed you, but still very dependable finish. I've made a bit of a change here. You might remember that I had some Onyxes and some Vultures last season. We're going to test it out for the first event of the year whether I need both. So we're going to just stick with the Onyxes because I have always loved them as much as I love the Vultures, and as much as it pains me, oh, it hurts me to not have the Vultures in the bag. We're just going to test it out for this first event. We've got 3 Onyxes. We've got most understable, then we've got slightly more stable, and then we've got the big Z one, which is more stable and which is kind of really replacing that Vulture slot. So gonna try that out. I think that's gonna be all I need, honestly. These big Z ones are more stable by far than the ESP ones, and are kind of filling that slot that I need for that overstable kind of like control driver slot. Now into the distance drivers, old trusty Jomez Pro Tour Series nuke from 2020. That is gonna be no more. I don't want to lose it, and it's getting a little bit flippy, so we're going to retire it, unfortunately, as sad as that is. Instead, in the flippy distance slot, we're going to try out a crank. Very flippy, flippier than the nuke for sure, and it's also replacing my Hades because I lost all the Hades that I had. And so we're going to see if it fills that slot well. I do really like the Hades for that understable distance shot. And so we're going to test out the crank instead. And then, yeah, the assortment of nukes. To start off the season at least, we got 3 different nukes. We got the TI nuke, which is flippy bomber. We got the ESP Page Pierce nuke, which again, that is also a bomber. And then slightly more stable, we've got last year's Ezra Aderhold Tour Series nuke. Those are the 3 nukes I'm going to be going with, pulling them out depending on what wind we're facing, but those will be my go-to drivers to start off the year. Then we've got 2 overstable options. We've got the Force. This one's a little bit old, as you can tell, but still very, very stable, very reliable. Then I'm also trying out a Nuke OS for that really overstable. So this probably won't come out too much unless I need like a really just overstable spike hyzer, or there's a big headwind and I just want to throw something that I know is not going to have any chance of flipping over. These don't go too far for me, honestly, because they're super stable but very reliable. So not sure how much it'll get pulled out in this upcoming event, but we've got it in the bag as that utility disc. So those are my updates. Let me know down below if you think I'm missing a slot somewhere. I'm always open to suggestions, but hopefully that'll set me up well for the Yeronga Memorial on Sunday. With all that being said, now let's go check out some of the new holes. I'll give you my thoughts on them and maybe throw a few shots as well. So one of the, I guess, first major changes is that hole 1 is in a different spot. So this would previously have been towards, I guess, the middle or back end of the course, but now it's hole 1, just so we got a new HQ area. It's not going to really matter because we're doing a shotgun start anyway. So you'll notice there's a few differences in the course, which I'm actually really excited about. To be brutally honest, this tournament doesn't always excite me the most, but this year I'm a lot more excited for it. It's just some new holes, and changing it up always makes things more interesting. So I'm much more looking forward to it this year. But this is just a short 72-meter hole 1. You can play like a probably typical just backhand hyzer shot, or maybe even a flex forehand. So I'll just try and show you both of those. We won't play every hole, most likely just because for time's sake, but we'll show you some of them, and especially the new ones that we come across. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, so that's how to get a par at best. Let's try that again. Better. That'll push. That'll give me somewhat of a putt. So I was throwing zones first. Now we'll try Captain's Raptor on that like flex forehand line. I mean, oh, it's out wide. Interesting here on hole 1. Hole 2, no significant changes really, except that there's, instead of going the wide mendo, there's a bit of a tighter mendo that will kind of force this forehand over the OB more so than in the normal layout. So nothing too different on this hole. I'm gonna go cap wrap over the water. Yeah, that's very safe. I might go up something like a force. That's better. Okay, force all the way. All right, so this hole here is probably one of the big changes in this new layout. There's a few, but this is one. It's combining 2 older par threes and making them into a par four. So this is always like just under 70 meter short dead straight par three. Then just a little bit past that, you then have a similar length, maybe a little bit longer par three as well. So I'm honestly not really sure the play. I think once we get up to kind of the landing zone, we'll be able to look back and see where I want to end up, and that might dictate what shot to throw. The only danger is the creek right OB. So I think it's just like trying to fly basically straight over the basket. Maybe finish a little bit right could open up some options. But I think if you can push through far enough, there'll be an opening to try and get the birdie. But this could be tricky because if you go early, it's going to be scrambling for par for sure. So I'm just going to throw Onyx, just try and pump it dead straight, see where we end up. That's a good line. A little bit left. Missed the trees though. Okay. A little bit more left than I wanted. Let's try again. We'll try and Mantis a bit flippier. See if we can just push a bit straighter. That's going to be the exact same. Somewhere out there. Okay. So thankfully I was able to find my discs. First one there. Second one up there. You can maybe kind of see it. But like just back there, if you're off to the left, that long grass is just ridiculous. So don't want to be there. I'll try and throw a shot from here. So what I'm looking at here is, hello, train. You know, over the top of the basket through this gap here, and then come, that's actually the play, then come through this clearing where actually I've somehow managed to land both of mine. That probably sets you up with the best shot. So we'll go up to where the Mantis went, which I thought was actually a bit early, but turns out that's actually where you want to end up. Because look, from here, basket, I believe, is the one just out there. Just a dead straight shot. You can throw backhand or forehand at it. I'm just going to try my Luna here. Just to kind of throw it on a dead straight shot, gentle turn maybe, and hopefully not lose a disc. That looks fantastic. Go in the basket. Go in the basket. Oh! That would have been sick. Practice round eagle. Maybe a little pass, but Justin Over almost got the two. How good. Just past the basket as predicted, but that was pretty exciting. I'll hopefully film a birdie so you guys actually believe me. Justin again. That'll do. You guys, I was just wondering, oh, why is this caution tape up? Like, that's a bit interesting. And I was about to step through it, and I wish I'd got it on camera. But then I was like, oh, maybe it's because like they don't want you to go there because there's like snakes or something. And I turn, and sitting like literally just on that stuff there was this, what looked like a red belly black snake. And then just before I turned the camera on, it slivered into that. So beware around this hole. I'm terrified right now because snakes are creepy. I think it's hiding now, but it's not going to come out for us, which I'm probably grateful for, to be honest. But yeah, beware around this, the walk between hole 3 and hole 4. I'm like really paranoid right now, but we're going to head out of this area. Hole 4 and hole 5 are pretty standard for last year's layout. Hole 4 is a par 4, nothing too crazy. Throw 2 good shots, you'll be in looking for a birdie. Hole 5, it's a left to right shaping shot with bush on the right that you don't want to go into, otherwise you could lose your disc. That is a par 3, so that's just a big forehand or a turnover backhand. So we're going to skip those because they're a bit of a walk away, and I don't A, have the time, and B, you know, they're not that interesting. So let's jump to hole number 6. All right, we're on hole number 6. We found it eventually. It's a makeshift tee. It's only about 68 meters, just basically straight ahead. You just got a bit of a gap on the right to get through. So it's kind of just a hyzer or flat to hyzer backhand. So I'm going to go probably Luna or Envy, just out through there. All you got to do is really hit the gap and then get the distance right. You should be looking at it. Oh, I hit the wrong gap. That's still going to work just fine. Wow, absolute shank, and parked it. So that's not the gap to traditionally hit. That's more the shot I was going for. That could go in. Oh, absolutely parked. That's a shot. After that snake sighting, I'm literally like seeing every little thing on the ground that like it doesn't even look like a snake, but could be, and it's just freaking me out. I don't know, are you guys like that as well, where you just like see a snake and then you're just so paranoid and then everything looks like a snake? That's happening to me. And my lunar shot was a shank, but still basically parked it. And then Envy actually did park it through the intended gap. That's the plane. Righty, hole 7, it plays to an existing basket, but from a different tee pad. It's looks like a pretty straightforward shot, except you got quite a low ceiling. It's kind of plays for that right to left backhand hyzer shot, except yeah, there's trees in the way. So you could just try and push that fade before them and skip. I'll try that once with like a zone maybe. I reckon, honestly, if you've got like a grenade and over the top shot, that would probably work really, really well. So I might give that a go with a flippy disc, just try and toss it up on a grenade angle, see how that goes, or just maybe a big knifing spike hyzer. So we'll throw all three. The low hyzer with the ringer zone first. That's going to be too high maybe. And also a little short, okay. Let's try the big spike hyzer now. Honestly, maybe even a forehand, no. It'll end up left, but that's okay. I can still putt, we don't have to be pucked. So that's going to be left by a lot, but actually probably putting. That could be the play, just like a big spike hyzer. So as I was walking up, I was thinking that, I mean, this tree, which is the tree on the right, is quite a lot away from the basket. And so I was thinking that you'd have to like really, like it'd be hard to get all the way to the basket if you hyzer inside that tree, which is what kind of the shot calls for. But my best shots, you know, they ended up just here, which is probably edge of circle away. And honestly, I'm happy with that on this hole. I think it's hard to get a lot closer with a backhand hyzer. It could be. You really got to push that tree on the right side and hug it, and then come in. And you're not going to get much skip on this grass. So I'm not too mad about that result. All right, so we're going to skip ahead a few holes for time's sake, and because hole 8 is pretty standard throwing back towards where the snake was. So I'm not going to throw that one. Hole 9, it's throwing par 4 down this fairway to the basket that's just behind that tree. And then you go hole 10, which is from where I'm standing now, throwing down that way. I'm not exactly sure where exactly the basket is. I think probably the line is kind of just dead straight towards that picnic bench in the background. I'm guessing that's basically the shot there. Hole 11 and 12 were part of last year's layout. So hole 11 is just over this way, throwing around the corner. Just don't want to go left into the water. And then hole 12 is throwing back up towards the road around a Mando. That's a pretty straightforward hyzer backhand shot. So not too much to worry about on that hole. Just don't want to go long onto the road. So yeah, those are pretty stock standard shots. But now hole 13 is a doozy. And I'm not probably going to throw any shots on it because the grass is very, very long and I have no spotters. I'm probably going to lose discs, but we'll try and talk you through it, walk through what my game plan might look like. But it is a big, I want to say par 4 or 5, maybe par 5. Crazy shot. We'll get to it in a second. So here we are on the tee of hole 13. It combines a couple of holes like some of the other holes have done. We've got a Mando you got to go to the right of. It's literally straight in front, so it takes out this left side option, which is probably the preferred line to get over because they're in the middle of the fairway. There's a creek, which is all OB. So you've got to push this right side, which has a low ceiling, push that right side to clear the OB. It's a par 480 meters, so it is gettable, but it's a really tricky one because you want to push this right side. You probably want to get over the creek to give yourself the best option at the birdie, but that brings in a lot of risk. If you like hit early or you just don't clear, you don't get the height right, you go OB, you're taking probably a bogey at best. You could still get a birdie if you kind of do a layup like a hyzer around here, like a little flex forehand, just to get towards that other basket. And then that could actually set you up for a shot across and then the longer second shot to get to the basket for the birdie. So it's a tricky shot, this one here, and not one that I'm sure I'm going to be attacking for birdie, but we'll see. I think I'll probably just do a little layup shot here, show you what that looks like and see if we can actually get a birdie from there. But I don't want to throw a big one at the moment because the grass is too long. I'm just going to throw a zone and see like what look that gives me. Let's get under that, please. Okay, clipped it, but it's out there. So that's an open shot. See what that gives me. I'm glad that smell doesn't translate through the camera, because my goodness, it is stinky out here. It's like really not ideal conditions to be playing in, not the nicest. Hey, but we're excited that tournaments are back. Should be a good tournament as well. I guess I'll give a preview of that now. I'm playing in MA1 again to start the year at least. Pretty, yeah, like solid players in the field. A few MA players have moved up, MA1 players have moved up into MPO. So MPO is going to be really interesting to watch this year as well. But yeah, the MA1 field is stacked. It's going to be tight competition. I think it's just going to be all about like keeping clean and attacking when you can and when it's necessary. But yeah, a lot of the time it's just going to be keeping it safe, I think, and not taking too many OB shots, and just keeping the game under control. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm starting to get that sort of competition nervousness back again, which is exciting, because I haven't had that for a while, and I love competing. 2-round 1-day tournament this coming Sunday. Stay tuned. If you're competing in it, good luck, and I'll see you there. This channel has been about me documenting my disc golf journey, but then I'm also hoping that through this channel I'll be able to highlight some of the amazing disc golfers and the disc golf that's happening here in Down Under in the beautiful Sunshine State, Queensland, specifically in Brisbane. So hopefully, yeah, we'll get some interviews maybe. We'll highlight some of the good players in the different divisions and get them some exposure as well. But hopefully just get Queensland disc golf and Australian disc golf out to the world. So it would really help if you liked and subscribed. Thanks very much. So from my lie here, it is a big second shot. I'd probably honestly play the safe play, big like sort of hyzer out to the right side, swing it back, the basket's way left, so it probably wouldn't really get there. I could then also just go like a just dead straight shot down the middle with a slight finish. That could also work, maybe with the Athena, maybe with an Onyx or something. So there are options just for the safe layup, and honestly that might be the play. I would be happy taking par on this hole both rounds. Alrighty, this is one of the holes I've been excited to show you guys. It is hole 14, temporary hole here, and it is a bomber. It is par 5, 220 meters, I believe. And basically you're teeing off from the path here. All the path is out of bounds. So this is going to be one of the few holes on the course where distance is beneficial. Try and get out as far as you can, and basically kind of follows the path around. I'm not exactly sure where the basket is, but we'll figure it out once we get there. But yeah, you want a big shot off the tee. You don't want to go left into the water, just something that goes straight, maybe turns a little bit to the right, and then finishes out there, because then you're going to sort of curve around to the right on the next few shots as well. So I reckon some people will get an eagle potentially if they can get a couple of clean shots. So I'm going to throw crank just because I know that should just turn to the right and not go left. Just like that. Well, that's going to be 2-turn though. Okay. So that was not the play. That was far too flippy. Okay, let's try and throw a nuke. And that should work better. I just got to make sure I don't early release it. Otherwise it'll go water bound. Oh, that's going to go water. Dang it. Exactly what I said not to do. Oh, far out. Oh, that's just taking a tree kick into the water. Ah! Dang it. Okay, so I did exactly what I said not to do, which was that. I'm still going to try again with the nuke. I probably shouldn't, but I'll just try and get this one on more angle and commit to the line. That's better. That's much better. Okay, great shot. Wow, that's huge. Okay, that's a shot. Just commit to the anhyzer, especially in a tailwind. If anyone has a TI nuke that they want to send my way, because I think mine has gone into the water, that'd be much appreciated. Most likely in the water. I don't have the time to find it just yet. But there were some fish in the creek or the river. So if you like fishing, there's some fish there, and maybe you'll fish out my nuke at the same time. How about that? All right, so I'm not exactly sure where the basket is. My guess is it's like up towards the back there, near those dark clump of trees. And running through the middle here is OB Creek. So I think from where my good shot landed here, I think second shot, I can go hyzer out to the right side is what I'll probably do. And I might play that now. Just got to clear the creek. That could give me a chance at the 2, but then I'm pretty sure the basket's somewhere up around there. It should hopefully be a little chip up at least for the birdie. I'll come back now. Yeah, that's great actually. Keep going. Yep, I think I made it far enough. It kind of stalled a little bit, but I think I'm far enough. Should have a chip up for birdie. All right, so the basket's just, as I said, just kind of past this tree right in front of me and then just around that corner there. So it was a very good shot. And I think honestly, like it'll be hard to get a birdie when you go short on your second shot. So getting over on the second shot's really nice. Ideally be a little bit further left so you can have a bit more of a run at it. But from here, like it's just something simple, like just a little chip forehand. Just like that. Well, that actually could go in. Woo! If the basket was there, and a bit short, but that should be an easy birdie. So hole 15, I'm not exactly sure where you tee off from, and I haven't had time just this morning. I've got to head off now, but don't have time to find exactly where the tee is, but somewhere behind me and playing towards this basketball court. The basket is just near the corner of this court, I believe. Oh yeah, here it is. And that's all out of bounds, and then you've got creek out of bounds behind as well. Probably takes up for a forehand. I'm not exactly sure where from, but again, it's a very tight little landing area, so you don't want to go too far long into the water or too far left or too far right. So play a perfect shot. Then you've got hole 16. It's a pretty dead straight shot. You've got OB running down the left-hand side, I believe. Just a pretty straight shot. A couple of trees in the way. Hole 17 is going to be an interesting shot that is on the football fields over behind me there. You're throwing from the footy field. Then you have to get back over the fence to get back in bounds. So otherwise it's technically an island, and so otherwise you're going to go to a drop zone near the basket. So that one's just going to be about just getting either a big forehand or a turnover backhand out over the footy field and then coming back across the fence. Before we finish up, we'll just throw hole 18 for you guys. It's a pretty short par 3. You are teeing off from out of bounds though, and you have to get over the bollards near the basket to stay in bounds, but then also not go too far past the other bollards because then you're out of bounds. So it's a little kind of peninsula sort of thing. You can play the big forehand out over the OB the whole time and hope that it comes back, which is my typical play, or you can throw just a straight backhand that's not going to fade too far left and go out of bounds again. So something that's going to finish to the right is what you want. So I'm going to try Captain's Raptor first. That's going to be safe but short. That's actually not bad. Okay, so just a little bit more push on that one, and that would be really good. Try just throwing like a straight backhand at it as well, maybe with the Luna. That looks really good if it just doesn't turn too much. Oh, that's great. Or just in bounds, but that's basically parked. That was sick. We'll try with the flippy roach. Oh, look at that flight, guys. Oh, that's gonna be right on the basket too. Little short, but whoo, that was pretty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that will do it for the first practice round of the year. Course preview. Let me know what you thought of this format. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you want me to do different things, if you want me to get different people on as well, what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want to know about what I'm thinking when I'm preparing for a course, just leave all those suggestions down below. I'll read them all and take all that feedback on, and really want to know what you guys enjoy from these practice rounds, because I love filming them. It's obviously helpful for me to practice the course and also helpful for others who are playing the course as well. So leave all those suggestions down below. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. If you did, give it the big old thumbs up. That'd be really helpful. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. But other than that, I hope you've had a wonderful day. Make sure you make it great with somebody else too, and we'll catch you in the next one. So, yeah, dang it.